Hey, this is Wayne. Pam's cutting board, cameraman, taste tester, jack of all trades. Could be known as the Joker sometimes. But everybody's been, well, a lot of you's been how I got to be in this chair. So I'll give you a short version, my best to give you a short version of it. Gather everybody around you and tell people they need to watch this. But I was, I guess, about 19. I'd been an athlete all through school, from 2nd grade all the way through high school. Played sports, ran track, graduated in '78, went to work in the mines, but I still, being an athlete all those years, I still wanted to run and stay in shape, and I ran 8 miles every day. And I guess this was maybe on a Saturday after I ran my 8 mile. Got to the car, put my key in the door to unlock the car, and the conviction power of God came down on me. Most of you know what I mean by when I say conviction power of God. You get that feeling in your gut and in your heart that, God's dealing with you. He wants to save you. So I pulled the key out of the door and put it in my pocket. And I ran 2 more miles. And then made it back to the car, so that was 4 miles. Trying to get away from the conviction power of the Lord. It didn't happen. God was still right there with me. And the conviction power was so strong. And I stood there in the grade school parking lot, walked back and forth, for about, 30 minutes, arguing with the Lord. Saying, Lord, what do you want with me? I drank, smoked pot. I'm a womanizer. I do a lot of bad things. I mean, what do you want with me? He wanted to save my soul. And he knew Satan was out there to kill me and take me to hell. And God really dealt with me bad. After about 30 minutes of arguing with the Lord, I told him, I said, okay, God, I looked straight up to the heavens. And I said, give me another week. Let me live my life the way I want to. And then I'll go right over to that church house and I'll give my life to you. Now, you don't have to be in church to get saved. Anywhere you are and you feel like praying and giving your life to God, right that's your altar. So I went home. Everything, went well that evening. Went to bed, woke up the next morning, got up with some friends of mine. One guy, his dad had just bought him a new car. And I was on vacation, I was off work. And he wanted us to ride around with him to try his new car out. And we got some beer. Rode around most of the day, enjoying the just the beauty of everything. It was a bright, sunshiny day. We was having fun, listening to music. We go to one of our little parking spots, and we go to another one. It started getting up in the evening. We decided we'd go to our friend's house and sell frisbee and drink our beer. And we got about 20 feet away from the driveway. And all of a sudden, the back end of the car just started scooting. And I remember saying, well, we've wrecked it, boys. I can't remember all the accident. I was hurt so bad and all the trauma. But I remember hitting the trees and it was a pap, 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 like a baseball bat. Somebody outside hitting us with a baseball bat. And when we stopped, it was so quiet. And I know I was kind of slumped over and the top of the car hit all the trees on my side and kind of pinned me down. And the guy who was driving the car, he started hollering at everybody. He said, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" He got to me and said, "Are you all right?" And I was the biggest, strongest guy in the car. And he hollered and said, "Wayne." I couldn't answer at the time. Then he hollered again. And I said, yeah, man, I'm okay. And I started to straighten up. And when I did, there was an awful pain shot through down from my head down to my waist. All the way down my back like that. And I had blood running all down my face. And I said, no, I'm not, I'm hurt. I think I broke my back. About that time, a man that lived up on the hill, he ran a service station. He knew all of us boys. And even though I was hurt, and we had help there, we didn't have an ambulance service. I said, don't move me. I think I've broke my back. And I said, don't move me, I'm afraid, you paralyzed me. So he checked everybody else out, and he said, Wayne, I'm going to take the driver and the passenger over here to the hospital. And your friend here, he's not hurt at all. And I've asked him to stay here with you. And the friend he was referring to is a guy that, he'd been in the car with us most of the day. And I knowed him all my life. We were best friends from first grade all the way through school. He even quit school at one time. And I got him started back. I'd go out and wake him up of a morning. Push him to get dressed and get ready to go to school. And he was supposed to stay there with me and watch me, not let anybody move me. But as soon as the man that found us took the driver and the passenger to the hospital, my very best friend ran off and left me. And I laid in that car, slowly dying. And this is what I was told, that those people, they'd heard about the wreck and they come to see, and they were lined all up on the highway, up on the hill. but they wouldn't come to me. Somebody said, well, Wayne's dead, laying there in the car. No one would come and check on me. Then one guy did, and I don't know who was with him, I can't remember. But he told me, he said, I would talk to you and try to keep you awake. And every time you would close your eyes, I'd slap your face. And you know, I'd sling my head back and forth. But, you know, he was trying. He was trying. And after about 2 hours, I heard a familiar voice. It was my high school quarterback. He was quarterback, I was receiver. He's also my third cousin. And he said, Wayne, do you know who this is? I said, yeah, it's Joey. And he said, I'm here to take care of you. You know, tell he was crying. And he said, I'm here to take care of you. That's all he could tell me. And then they strapped me down to the car, you know, the back seat of the car. They tore it out and laid me on it. And they done a good job. That's what I was told by the physicians at the hospital. And they took me, their vehicle. We got about 2 miles away from the car wreck. And we passed, for some reason I just, I could open my eyes and I saw the steeple of a church. And I knew where we were at, and I used to attend that church. And then my legs, they started tingling and going numb. And I remember looking at them and I said, my legs, they're tingling. I'm afraid I'm going to be paralyzed. And they all, they were disgusted, and some saying some cuss words, and others, they was just holding on to me, petting on me. Next thing I remember, but they were loading me up, in the ambulance. They had to take me from Hyden, the hospital, to UK in Lexington. And somewhere, I don't know, on the road, I think it's the exit in London, they had pulled off. And the reason I knew that is I was awakened by a big one of the sharpest pains that I've felt in my chest. And I had died. They put those, the paddles on me and brought me back to life. Got my heart beating. And I made it to the hospital. Again, I don't remember anything there except they put a halo on me. That's where they drilled holes in my head and put a big metal round trick on my head to try to line my spine back up. I had broken my neck, way up here. And I was paralyzed from my neck down. I spent altogether a little over a year in the hospital and in a rehab, Cardinal Hill. By God's help, I got a little bit better as time went along. Started getting some movement back and some feeling. But I give my life to God. And he called me to preach. Me in a wheelchair. A lot of people couldn't see that. But God did. But I guess, that's about the best I can tell it. I hope I've answered some questions. But I did have a long way home. And those guys in the car, they never came around, never visited, didn't even call. About 40 years after the wreck, the accident, I got a call from one. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, you know where I'm at. I'll be on the cutting board.